Hi, I'm Chris here. Welcome to my channel. If this is the first time you're watching my video, please make sure you read on the description and the title below for the current software version that I'm using right now. My goal with this channel is to help you to become a better modular. So please take a moment and let me know in the comment how am I doing. Remember to leave a thumbs up so it can help the YouTube to share this video with a wider audience. And if you aren't subscribed, please do so and click on the bell for future content. Welcome back to my channel. So in this video, I'm going to talk about how do you create round circle in TASC-III. The first of all, always go to the drawing tab rather than identify tab. As you can see, when I click on the drawing tab, the difference between these two tabs are the ribbon over here. The features and the functions are different. So in the drawing tab, the functions are more into helping you to create column. In identify tab, the more of the function here is to help you to identify the layer of the cat, the column layers and things like that, and auto identify. And also in the identify tab, if you click it wrongly, you will accidentally delete the drawing tab as well. So we do not want that to happen. So we just click on the drawing tab over here. As you can see, the next step will be search for the column, which is located over here. Go to your this column over here, select on the column, and then the three icon will appear, which is the first is a column, stiffener, and cobalt. When you hold your mouse and put it long enough, it will appear the description for the icon. If you do not like this step, you can also use another step is to drag this open. As you can see, when my mouse moves towards the line over here, the icon will change. Once it's changed, you click on it and drag it open. So to drag it open, then you will see a more clear description on all of this explanation of this icon. So for me, my personal, I don't really like to use this because it's blocking the view of this modeling process. So next will be creating the new column. Go to the plus sign over here, select the plus sign. In TASC-III, it will appear the icon and the description as well. So in this video, we're going to talk more on the round column. Just select on the round column. Once you selected, it will appear column -1. So for this one, you just have to change the name as accordingly. Well, the next thing to do is to open up the column schedule. There are a few methods of this. The first of all is that I will prefer to open up the column schedule in CAD Reader or maybe AutoCAD and put it on my left screen so I can have easy to view on the left and right. So if you do not like this step, the another step is to import the column schedule inside the your software, and then you move the column schedule next to your model. From here, you can just directly enter the column directly from here. So right now, we're going to change based on the information given in the column schedule. So before that, I need to show you about the description for each row. We're going to change on the size, main bar, and link. We cannot be do in TASC-III, so we will avoid this one. Next one will be concrete grade. We have changed on this one and the concrete marking. So move back to here. So to change this column marking C4, we either click on here, the name itself, or you can click on here to change. Once you change, it will change accordingly. You see? So the next thing will be change on the radius. By the way, material we are seldom use on this one. If you want to change as well, you can change it accordingly. So for radius, it's 400. Look carefully on here. This one means radius is not diameter. 800 in radius is divided by 2, which is 400. And you can see the size of the column is similar with the legend. Okay, so the next one will be concrete grade 40. We have to change this as well. So before that, I need to explain about why there's a bracket sign here. So bracket sign means by default, will refer back to the project setting over here. Go to a project setting, floor setting. All the setting will be refer back to this table. Make sure you click on the right floor. Once you click on the floor, it will appear the floor names over here. The current floor is first level, first floor. Here is a ground floor. So for this one, the column I've changed it to C20. If by default is in white color, if you change anything, it will become green color. So as you can see, C20 and the sum forward is the forward type over here. That's why they're in the bracket. You see, so it's a wise that you before you do any model, you have to change all the project setting to your advantage. Let's say there's a floor, most of the column is grade 30. Make sure you change on that so you do not need to change here again. So you have to save more time. So right now, in this case, we have to change to grade 40. To change to grade 40 by selecting on the arrow sign over here, and you can select grade 40 just below. That's all. So for the next one will be C5. Let's say these are both around circle and share quite a similar sizes. We can just directly click on copy over here, select copy. Make sure you select on the C4 and press on copy. It will directly duplicate the next column, which is direct similar or in attribute editor. You see all the attribute editor is similar. So for the C5 over here, this means right now here means radius. It's not diameter. So for radius, you can directly just key in because they are the same things, radius versus radius. So you can just key in the radius over here, and then the size will be the same as this one. So right now we're going to talk about attribute editor. As you can see, there's a attribute editor table over here. You can adjust the table. Let me zoom in. You can adjust the table up and down and drag it over just like this. Let's say on the value column over here, you can't able to see it well. You want to have a better view, you can always drag it over. You even can drag this over as well. Depends on your operation method. So right now we're going to talk about the blue wordings and the black wordings. So the blue color means that it's public entity and the black means private entity. Private also means it's individual. So I will show some example over here. Let's say I take C4 as example. When I click on the column over here, let's say I will change the radius which is in blue color by selecting on the column. Let's say I want to change it to 1000. It will change over here and it will change in the list itself. You see, when I unselect the column, the radius is the same. So let's change it back on the list here. You see, automatically the C4 will change. However, if I were to change on private attribute here, which is in black color, once I select the column, let's say I change on this top elevation from floor top to 1 meter. So from here, when I unselect the column, you see, on the list itself, they will still remain the same as before. So on the next column that you point on the, let's say point on the C4, you will see there's a difference between these both. One is still on the follow back to a list, another one will be on 1. When you click both of them, they will become a question mark. This means there's uneven or there's is not same in between the entity that you selected. So let's delete these two columns. And the next thing we'll be talk about mostly on this attribute. So for this category number 2 over here, by default after calculation, so the software will automatically arrange the column itself to non-isolated or isolated column. So if you do not like this, you can also change it yourself later on. So I will talk more a bit here. So the purpose of this attribute editor is you need to arrange it accordingly. After you've done everything, the quantity report will be much more organized and it will save time on your quantity extraction. So for here, summary info, I can type in podium, but I would not type it because I already done typing it on the other column. So I just need to copy and paste it. By doing this, it will reduce the risk of typo. Once typo, the software will recognize it as the separate summary info. They will categorize separately. Yeah, do it also for the column C5. And from here, select C4 and C5. I will put it as round column at construction phase. So right now, I were to click on the boxes over here, select the column, and then select on the boxes that I want it to appear. So as you can see, the important message will appear beside the column name. So from here, you can easily just differentiate. This is a rectangular column and this is a round column, and you do not need to purposely click on it to see the important message. So right now, I will point on the column into the layout. Select on the layout. Okay. So the C4 and C5, select on the right column and point it. So once you select on the point, you will see the yellow cross over there, like a magnet. Attach your column into the center point, just like this. So for the C5, I will teach you another step is that you can also press on F4, which allow you to easily to select to point the column according to edge of the column and also the intersection between the edge of the column line or with the axis line, just like this. Once you see the yellow cross, just select on the that's all. And also before that, remember this, once you key in this attribute, you can directly export this thing to TRB without doing it again. Remember this, it will save your time. So once you done your column, remember to copy to other floor and the floor above. Let's say your floor above is sharing the same column, or you can copy to floor above and do adjustment later, just like this one. Remember always not to click on this random point because random point will actually make your column not pointing on the accurate location. Let's say on this one, I will point using this add view, I mean this random point. Let's accidentally point a bit higher, and your result once you view in 3D, the column will be look a bit strange. In TRB and TS, they will affect the quantity as well. So after you're done pointing on your column, make sure you perform a cross check before you calculate. Doing calculation, you can select the calculate over here in the quantities tab over here. They'll have a calculation. Select all to calculate and click on OK. You can use another method which is in a short key. It's called F9. It will appear this window as well. After you've done calculation, click onto your report. Select the range that you want the quantity to appear. Click on OK. And then from here, you can either customize all your quantity arrangement or you can just set in the range, either one will do. So from here, I just click on the subtotal or you unclick it, it's up to you. So make sure that this one is organized as to your advantage and easy you to fill in your BQ. So that's all. Thank you.